Good question was asked. Where does the real deal Evander Holyfield land? He was once used in a song, uh, like Snoop had used him. His name been quoted. Evander Holyfield is one of the 10 greatest boxers ever. For some people, he's like, and I think in the 6 to 10 slot. Obviously, there are names that he's going to not mention with. But if you talk about a guy who fought with passion, a guy that fought with heart in him, and a guy that fought with strength, he's one of those guys that you couldn't deny his impact. You couldn't sit there and say that he didn't belong with the best of the best because no one outworked Holyfield. He was strong, he was built tough, and he fought a little bit of everybody. Cruiserweight and worked himself on up. He was a power fighter. He adapted to styles. He's one of those guys that almost gets kind of taken for granted because he was known and he was respected, but he wasn't as ballyhooed. Say he didn't quite have the tenacity of Tyson, the allure of Ali, that bruteness of George Foreman. But he was one of those guys that you could definitely respect how he went in with his lunch pail and how he delivered results. He's one of those guys that didn't leave anything for chance. So often than not, when people talk about great fighters, they his name doesn't get mentioned as much as it should. He's almost been kind of forgotten like an afterthought, which it shouldn't be the case because he was a top tier fighter and he definitely left a lasting impact. And he definitely, you know, made no bones about what he could do. He was a fighter's fighter, tough dude, and much respect. So I just think that it's often than not, he doesn't get his due. He should though. I mean, he definitely, left a lasting impact. Um, and you know, it's something that won't be soon forgotten. So, um, and I've always held him in high regard. Um, watched so many of his fights. I used to always joke about all the time about Holyfield fights because I always say, man, Mike Tyson fights, you'd have food and parties and the stuff. Fight be over for a chance you get to sit down and put anything and get your plate down. Holyfield, you're gonna get your meal twice and you may get dessert. You be done. But he always gave you a real tough fight. Like even in the fights against Riddick Bowe when he lost, he fought so hard. You had to appreciate his determination, his demeanor, and he kept himself together. Um, One of those guys that I do think is underrated as a boxer. I don't think that people say enough his name near enough. And again, some of it's commercialized because let's be realistic, people like hype and hoopla. They go by the name brand, they go by what you doing, what you got. And so they sometimes hold that against you. It's unfortunate because you want to establish what you got. And some people do resent the fact, you know, different things, different variations. But he is a champion. He's one of the best to ever do it. And, he's one of those guys, the real deal Holyfield, one of those guys that you truly, I think, definitely made a lasting impact. But I think he's one of the most underrated, underappreciated fighters ever. I do. Who else do you think? Do you think he is, or do you think he's overrated? I like to hear commentary about when we talk about Evander Holyfield, the real deal, and where you come down with him in hindsight, and where you rank him, the strength, the force, the impact, and what he represents as a champion. I love to hear your takes. So please hit the like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like and hit that membership. Because when you do requests like this, I bring truth. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm all peace.